So my dad saw all of my male nail TikToks and I could just tell he wanted me to do his, so here we are. How could I say no? These hands are special. My dad immigrated to the US from what was the Soviet Union. He was a musician in the army and played any instrument you could think of. That was his passion, and deep down, I think it still is. But he realized that he could not make a living in the US playing music, especially without knowing English. Just like most immigrants, my parents came here in search of a better life. My dad has endured many obstacles, and I don't think any amount of money could repay him for what he sacrificed. But if I could do something to make his day, even if it's just doing his nails, I'll be happy. Male nails again, lawyer edition. My client used to be a criminal prosecutor. Let me tell you one of his crazy stories. So one day, two guys wanted to rob a jewelry store. They decided the best way to learn the ins and outs of the store was to abduct the security guard. One of these kidnappers pulled the guard into a van to try to get some info out of him, but the guard fought back. He fought back so much that the kidnapper shot him in the head while the other was driving. So at this point, while being shot in the head, the guard managed to roll himself out of the moving van while the kidnappers tried to flee the scene. While bleeding, the guard crawled to his car and drove himself to the hospital. Part 2 of my lawyer client's crazy story. So to recap, a security guard of a jewelry store was abducted by these two men who wanted to rob the store. They took the guard into their van and shot him in the head. I forgot to mention that the guard was shot in the leg first, but because he wouldn't give up a fight, the kidnapper shot him again. So this man was shot twice and managed to roll himself out of the van and drive to the hospital. To answer all of your questions, yes, he arrived at the hospital safely and was taken into surgery. He sustained permanent injuries, but he is alive and well. As for the charges, the case is still ongoing, so he wasn't able to disclose further details, but they are looking at life sentences. I'm so happy with this nail transformation. This client came to me for the first time 2 months ago and his nails needed some cleaning up, to say the least. If you scroll down to my previous videos of these nails, you'd see that this client used to bite his nails due to stress, and he also works with his hands for a living. He only recently decided to start taking care of his nails and has been coming to me fairly consistently for the past 2 months. Even while being sick with COVID, he stopped himself from biting his nails, and you can see the drastic improvement. So definitely make some time once a month to clean and take care of your nails and cuticles, even if you do them by yourself. You'll feel like a new person.
My sister ran out of male nails, so she and her creepy fake finger requested that I come to her studio. She started by cleaning the dirt I didn't even know I had, and then filed and dusted the nails off. Then she pushed back my super crusty cuticles, which tickled a little bit. When she took out the drill, I seriously thought she was about to take my whole nail off, but she somehow convinced me that the drill-looking thingy was the safest one out there. I had no choice but to believe her at that point. When dude took out the sharp scissors, I almost jumped out of my chair. And that's when the bleeding started. Haha, just kidding, but I guess it worked out in the end. My nails never looked this clean. I approve, you guys can hit her up.
So when I turned 13, I had a birthday party. It's no big deal. I mean, I was just blossoming, turning into a woman. And so I remember my mom was like, no one's allowed in the rooms. Everyone needs to be outside. If you see anyone inside, you need to tell me. I was like, oh my God, Booma, you don't need to pop off. I get it, Booma, come on. I remember I saw 3 adults walk out of my room. I didn't tell my mom, but let me tell you why. Because I was like, maybe they're designing a gift for me. So the end of the day came, no surprise present came. I'm not mad. Are you mad? Because I'm happy. So we started cleaning up, and then we went to go clean my room in case. Oh, the best part is coming! There was a voodoo doll under my bed. It looked exactly like me. I remember there was one needle on its left eye, another needle on its heart, and it was laying on like a ratchet green leaf. And then next to it, there was a note that said, this is all gonna be mine in cursive. So then my mom started doing research. After we found the voodoo doll, my mom did some research and we found out that someone was basically trying to do evil to me and harm me. I appreciate you counting me in. I personally, I don't want to be voodooed, but thank you. Thankfully though, we had some cameras in the house, so we were about to see who was behind this. This is the best part. We checked the cameras, and the 3 people that I saw walk out of my room, they were strangers. My parents didn't invite them, they didn't know them. So what my dad did was he screenshotted the footage and then he posted it on Facebook and he was like, does anyone know who this is? So we ended up finding them, contacting them, whatever. And we found out they work for this company that does witch stuff. And someone was paying them to do all of this witchery stuff on me. No, I'm fine. What about you? So we asked them, what is behind all of this? What magic are you trying to do? Who paid you? After my dad contacted the witches basically told him that it's better to not talk about this on the phone. They then told my dad that the only person they can release information to is me. Long story short, I had to meet the witches. at an alley by myself. By myself. I pull up, I feel like a whole ass horse. I'm about to shit everywhere. So then I come across the witches, and I remember they were looking straight at the ground. And I remember I was like, hi, and they were like, we cannot look you in the eyes because then the curse is gonna be ours. I remember I started asking them questions like, you know, just the usual, like, why'd you make a voodoo doll of me? They told me that the whole point behind this was for me to eventually turn crazy and be lonely forever. Bitch, I'm already crazy and needy as f. Unfortunately, they said they couldn't tell me who was behind all of this. I remember they told me how to break the curse though. They told me to put the voodoo doll in a wooden box and set it on fire. And they gave me this like nasty hot green juice, but apparently it killed the curse.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life. I'll go first. 2 years ago, I was walking my dog at the park and a man approached me and asked to take a picture of her. And I said yes, because why not? It's a picture of a dog. So he starts taking a picture of my dog, and then I realized that he was like holding up her collar, and then it hit me. My address is on that collar. He's not taking a picture of my dog, he's taking a picture of my address. So I told him that I actually didn't feel comfortable with him having a picture of my dog, and I asked him to delete it. So he deletes it and then like starts walking away really fast. And I was like, excuse me, sir, no, could you also go into your deleted album and delete it from there? And he goes, I don't have a deleted album. And I was like, you have an iPhone. Everybody has a deleted album. Could you please delete the picture? And he was like, sorry, I don't have a deleted album. And like keeps walking away. And keep in mind, this is like 2 PM in a park. Like there's other people around. So now I'm like chasing after him and I'm telling him, sir, I know you have the album. I will show you where the album is. Can you please go onto your phone so that we can delete the picture? Oh, part two. I'm sorry for the delay. So I'm still chasing after him, and people at the park are like starting to look at us now because I'm chasing after him and I'm telling him to stop walking. And so he stops, and I tell him again to delete the photo from the deleted album, and he goes, I don't have a deleted album. And I was like, yes, you do. Everybody does. It'll take 10 seconds. And he goes, fine. And he like goes on his phone, does something for a second. He goes, there, it's gone. And I was like, could I see the deleted album just to make sure it's gone? And he goes, no, you can't look at my phone. And I was like, I don't want to look at your phone. I just want to see the album just to make sure the picture is gone. That's it. And he goes, no, you're not going to look at my phone. And I was like, sir, I'm not going to stop and I'm not going to leave until you show me the album. So please just show me the album so we can be done with this. So he shows me the album. The picture was still there. So I made him delete it in front of my eyes. What if I hadn't noticed that he took a picture of my address? And what if I went home that day and, you know, that night when I took my dog out to pee, he was outside waiting for me? I mean,